Welcome to the Winds of Jupiter love reading. I'll first be doing a tarot love reading, and then I'll be doing a Lenormand card love reading. Now, I know you're not familiar with the Lenormand cards, so I'll walk you through it. And then after that, I'll be doing a Yi Jing reading that's associated to the two previous readings. Now, let me explain tarot love reading and how it works. First of all, I go card by card until I find the Two of Cups or the Lover's card, or any court card from your sign. For example, Cups for Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. And then I look for the card that's associated to your sign too, such as Virgo for Hermit and Cancer for Chariot. And I put it up here, and then it depicts the overall feeling of the reading. It's overseeing the reading. Now I'm doing Know Thyself or Know Yourself reading. I gave it this moniker so it's easy to remember. But the main cards are What You Know, What Is or Can Be Yours, and Self or Self-Awareness, and then the Future card. Now each card has a clarification card along with it, and I'm using the Hanson-Roberts deck. And now on with the reading. Hi Scorpio! I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and do a love reading. Because the folks in the Northern Hemisphere are waiting for summer and things to sprout and grow, and those in the Southern Hemisphere are turning on the heat and cuddling up. And I thought this would be an opportune time to do a love reading. Now for your spread, I was either looking for the Death card, any Cup Court card, or the Two of Cups or the Lover's card. And you received the Two of Cups for the overall energy. It's kind of funny. Either I had to dig around and go almost to halfway through the deck for some of these cards, and yours just popped right out right on the top. I guess the cosmos got the memo that I was doing a Scorpio love reading and I needed a good love card. Now this Two of Cups is the minor arcana version of the Lover's card, so it has a little weaker energy to it, but it still means balance, duality, partnership, engaging in deeper emotional bonds, and more harmonious love relationships. That can be a love affair, of romance, or it can be family or friends. But what it really is making good decisions and having a deeper understanding of why you're making these decisions. This can also be a healing card with regards to putting up the white flag and bringing about a truce so that things are no longer fraught with tension. A lot of times this weaker arcana cards are really dependent on what's surrounding it, what cards are surrounding it. And strangely enough, on the left side there for What You Know, receive the Queen of Cups and the Six of Swords. Now I can't count how many times I've received the Queen of Cups to represent you, to personify you. It's getting kind of creepy. I mean, how many times can this happen? I mean, how many cards are out here? 10 out of 8? That's incredible. And overall, everything does say that things are getting better and better for Scorpios, but there's a few obstacles in this love reading. And with things coming to an ending and going into new beginnings, because we've seen that in the past since the beginning of the year, there's still a few things that have to be cleaned out yet, and this is springtime, so it's time to clean out the closets and wash the windows and do some spring cleaning, and also clean out the cobwebs in our brain. The Queen of Cups always brings good tidings, but she indicates women's intuition, or a person's intuition. Her watery subconscious dips deep and reflects back into you, or from you to another person. She's normally looking into a cup that has a cover on it, so it's indicating heavy-duty intuition and starting to listen to your inner voice, waking up your self-awareness and and sharpening your personal awareness of what's going on around you, internally and interpersonally. A lot of times I think about this as, do you think to feel or do you feel to think? And what you think should you be feeling from your preconceived ideas? What are you truly feeling? And are you listening to your gut feelings? There's a lot of divine mysteries and veiled motives and deep secrets that have to be uncovered. And I believe now you're on the search for them. Now the Six of Swords is about moving on. You're not fleeing, but it's more like you've graduated in some type of realization. And I know the Scorpios want to go now from turbulent to more tranquil waters, because the last 5-some years has just been awful for the Scorpios, with Saturn in your second house for property and what you own, resources. It's really been a tough go. Now there's one danger when the Queen of Cups appears, is that she can be seduced by her own fantasies. And she hates to leave her calm spiritual world and doesn't take her own good advice. And you have to keep this in mind, because you can't move on until you start taking your own good advice. Now the Six of Swords has you clear your head, like I said, doing some spring cleaning in your head and taking a good look at the route that you're sailing and where you're at now and where you want to go, and looking for seamless transitions from a negative past to a more positive future. The rough and rocky waters are now calming. You're going from a more subjective viewpoint to a more objective, and welcoming these new directions. But there's still a few storm clouds over the horizon, because up in the center, for what can be or is yours, receive the Seven of Swords and Temperance. The Seven of Swords is about somebody stealing from you or sneaking off with things. Underhanded actions that need caution, because there's secrets happening. Secrets behind the curtain. It's as if somebody's victimizing you, or maybe even you're victimizing yourself, because you're in some kind of denial and not facing up to reality. Or you're stealing your own emotions, or somebody is stealing your emotions from you. At any rate, you're being drained of emotions. This is a love reading, so emotions are being taken away. And that's why you have Temperance as the clarification card, because it's saying you have to stop this. You have to temper somebody else's behavior or your own. There needs to be some kind of moderation. And Temperance is one card that can indicate that your unconscious inner self can breach to the conscious foreself. You have to start commiserating with these two sides and getting rid of your shadow self, or the shadow self of someone else. You don't need them in your life. It's not serving you anymore. Whatever it is not serving you anymore, and it's taking away and not giving. There's so many relationships where there's a taker and a giver involved, and it's never equal. It's always so unbalanced that the giver just keeps giving and the taker just keeps taking, and nobody stops this loop. And this is reinforced by the self and self-awareness cards, is that you receive the Devil and the Fool. Normally the Devil to me means you're in denial. You're not facing up to your fears. You're not representing yourself. You're not respecting yourself, because this has turned into an obsession or an addiction. Whatever it is, and I mean it can be anything. But what's happening is you're disrespecting yourself, and you're allowing it to happen. But you don't want it to happen anymore. You've got the Six of Swords back there saying, I want to move on. And now you have the Fool. You're spiritus. You're the breath of life. It's time for you to have new discoveries. Find out where your little microcosm fits into this whole big picture. And find some comfort and contentment in yourself. And the future card is the Three of Cups. I mean, this is like a teamwork card. Everybody's on the same page, going towards shared accomplishment. But it's a celebration card. And I think you've had a lot of support group people behind you, and maybe you are working in a teamwork format. Teamwork can accomplish the almost impossible. Now, the clarification card was the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is a fantasy land kind of guy. He's got his head in the clouds and he doesn't have his feet on the ground, and he's wearing rose-colored glasses. But he also brings a lot of ideas, and he can even bring news to the party. And this is where Temperance pulls in and goes, ta-da! Okay, Page of Cups, let's have a reality check. Temper your behavior and start dealing and facing your fears, because you've got the devil. Now, I'd like to explain how the cart cards work in love readings. The pages bring ideas and news. The knights launch these ideas into action. And the queens bring understanding from experience. And the king assists in attaining long-term goals. So here you've got the Queen of Cups that's personifying you, saying you're finally into the understanding mode regarding love. And strangely enough, I thought, okay, I'm going to pull out another clarification card for the future and receive the Lovers. Need I say more? And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness. I put out a sample spread of the Lenormand cards so you can see what they look like. Now, the tarot deck has 8 cards in it, and the Lenormand decks have between 6 and 9. Now, I'm using Under the Roses deck, and that has 9 in it. I'll be laying out 9 cards, 9 on the top and 9 on the bottom. And every card has a word translation, and then I'll be putting it together to make a sentence. And I'll show you all of the translations as subtitles. And then I'll read you the sentences, and after that, I'll put the sentences on slides so you can read them yourself. Now, let me explain the difference between the tarot cards and the Lenormand cards. The tarot cards are your response to a certain situation, and it's more emotional and psychological, where the Lenormand cards give you real-time action of what is happening. The tarot cards are about emotion, and the Lenormand cards are dispassionate, and it goes on from subjective to objective, verbs to nouns, psychological to physical, feeling to seeing, participant to spectator. The tarot cards will tell you why your husband left you because he had mother issues. The Lenormand cards will tell a woman why her husband isn't home because he's at the bar having a few beers. And a lot of times these Lenormand cards can put things into a sequence of time. Not all the time, but sometimes. So let's see what comes up in your reading. Okay, I laid out your cards for your Lenormand love reading. I translated each card into a word, and I made 2 sentences. Whenever you hear man or woman, as with the tarot cards, it can be either gender. Now, the first sentence indicates a happiness and renewal from a woman and gifts. And I believe that could be the Queen of Cups. And then it says something about a powerful love. And of course, that could be the 2 of Cups or Lover's card. Now, the second sentence indicates a spiritual journey, and that would be the Fool. And about a gathering of people, and that would be the 3 of Cups. And bringing a vision and messages, and that could be the Queen and Page of Cups. Now, I'm putting up the subtitles for each word, and you can stop the video and study them. And I'll be reading the sentences, and after that they'll be put on slides so you can read them. Now, here's the sentences. Happiness and renewal, 4 or 2. A woman brings gifts, hope, and powerful love from hidden luck. Decision for a journey of spiritual faith with a gathering brings renewal and growth through the vision of a message. And after the slides, I'll be doing a Ye Jing reading. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.